With so much content whizzing around out there, there's only one storytelling platform that helps you keep calm and stay informed and inspired: Flipboard. Flipboard curates the world's stories so you can be smarter in your work, life, and play. Choose from thousands of topics to personalize Flipboard and get the latest stories from the best publishers and experts delivered to you 24/7. When you see stories you want to save or share, tap the plus button to add them to private or public collections. It's that simple. Used by millions of people every day, Flipboard is how people move themselves and the world forward. Get started now at flipboard.com. It's the E-commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's the E-commerce Minute, episode 366.
In today's episode, 9 brands come together under one roof in Brooklyn shop.
Hi-O, a new retail concept in Brooklyn, is testing the idea that consumers will find value in discovering new brands through a brick-and-mortar experience. The concept brings together 9 brands, including 8 international brands, many of whom are making their U.S. debut. The concept opened earlier this year in City Point Shopping Center in downtown Brooklyn, New York. Hi-O is owned by Direct Brands Group, a business formed in 2017 to serve as an intermediary for international companies and e-commerce brands looking to open bricks-and-mortar locations in North America. While many international brands are eager to gain share in the U.S. market, waves of store closings and bankruptcies add an air of trepidation to the mix. These micro-mall concepts offer to hedge the risk for brands, giving them bricks-and-mortar exposure without the high fixed costs associated with opening their own retail store. Hi-O is aiming to expand beyond New York, opening a pop-up in Toronto's Sherway Gardens Shopping Center and looking to expand to several additional locations in 2019. The timing is right, as there is a record amount of commercial real estate going dark in 2018. But Hi-O isn't the only player in the space. Macy's is testing a similar concept with their Market at Macy's, allowing international retailers to buy display space on the main floor of several prominent Macy's stores throughout the country. And there's Bulletin, a social impact-oriented retailer that curates items from small, female-owned companies with 3 stores in the New York metropolitan area. While each of these competitors focuses on providing bricks-and-mortar solutions, Hi-O seems uniquely focused on introducing customers to new brands, which they're hoping will pay off in the long run. And I have to say this, Hi-O! Hi-O!
Oh, I know that was coming.
Hi-O!
That was definitely coming. Well, this is interesting. I think it's. Do you think it looks like more and more brands or more and more places want to do this?
Yeah, I mean, we like I mentioned, we've done other stories about these curated retail concepts, and I think this is something that's going to catch on. I really like this because, again, it gives someone who had to have the hopes and dreams of opening a bricks and mortar store, but do not have the deep pockets. They can pool their resources and do it. And as long as they do it in a tasteful way, it's a home run. The way that it wouldn't work is if you kind of diluted some of the brands, or if you had an odd mix of brands. So what it looks like in this particular case, it's women's accessories, travel items, sunglasses, soap and cosmetics, embroidered bags, candle and oil diffusers, and Moleskine is actually part of this too. So it's notebooks. So it's more of a luxury kind of high-end female brand kind of stuff, which is fine. But you see, it has to almost be thematic. You can't just put 9 stores. You can't put a guy who sells nails and a guy who sells carpet and a guy who sells handbags in one store. That would be called a flea market.
That'd be fun now.
Yeah, well, they call that a flea.
And that'd be amazing now. Think about it.
But yeah, it's a great use of all this empty, it's a great use of all this empty store space that's out there now.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it is like in New York, it's a little different, obviously, and the real estate in New York is high. I just wonder, like, if something like this can be, Toys R Us type of, stores can be converted into this, because, it's been interesting to watch now, and I've drove by through a few Toys R Us places, and they're very, very sad.
Yeah, and the only bright spot is they become Halloween stores for a couple weeks, and then they close, and then they become Christmas decoration stores, and then they close. And I think there was a guy around here that he was running holiday bookstores in closed. Like he would just buy excess inventory of books and just open a temporary bookstore, which was great. I loved it. And then it would close right after Christmas. But that is only a Band-Aid. I would rather see some of these more semi-permanent type retail experiments. And the good thing about these these kind of aggregators, I don't know what the word is. I'm just going to call it aggregator. They aggregate these small retail brands. Is it adds to the element of discovery and surprise for shoppers, because they can go in and, let's just say Hayo rotates their brands in and out every couple months like Bullet and Macy's do. That would keep someone coming back, because if they keep the same level of quality, they're going to remember that, I want to go back to Hayo because maybe they've rotated the brands and maybe there's going to be something just as cool as what was there before. Right. The stumbling is if they start putting stuff in there that's not so great, which, they probably wouldn't do that, but that would be their stumbling.
You try stuff out, right? Sometimes it doesn't go well, or you just don't have the same kind of thing. And I don't know. I think that's the beauty, because it's very experimental. So it's not noted what kind of leases that he signs these brands to, and they're looking to expand. Like the first one, it says it was only 1,900 square feet, but they want to do 5,000 square foot concepts of this. So it would probably be double, triple the amount of we'll call them vendors within there, which would be really great. It's kind of like a mall within a mall. And again, a great use of all that empty square footage out there. Yep, exactly.
And they're getting a lot of interest from real estate landlords, obviously, because we're seeing the transformation of malls. A lot of malls, what's happening now, and unfortunately, my Sears around that I grew up with, that's finally closing. All these, big chains are going away. And the mall operators are struggling to figure out what to do with all that space. A lot of them are doing experiential, but they're also doing more entertainment-based things. And they're doing, for example, you'll see an old anchor store that just becomes a giant gym, or a CrossFit studio upstairs and a gym downstairs. That's crazy. We've got one, Oxford Valley Mall. They put in a virtual reality gaming thing, and it's big. It's a big store. I've seen some that have put in paintball fields. I've seen some that put in, they go, okay, we're going to take this department store, cut it up, put a movie theater, a restaurant, and something else, because that's what people want. Everybody wants to have the experience now. Like we talked about the Walmarts, they're converting the Walmarts into destinations. People want destinations. I think the era of just going to a mall and going shopping and then whatever, I think that's kind of
it's kind of coming to a close. I mean, if Toys R Us thought about it before, they could have done some gaming and stuff like that, where they could be a toy company.
Yeah. Walmart's doing a lot of experiments with toys this year. I think this was a real big opportunity for all the other chains like Target and Walmart to really pick up the slack that unfortunately Toys R Us left. We'll see the numbers after the first of the year, but great opportunity for experimenting in bricks and mortar retail. All right. You got anything else?
No, that's it, my friend.
All right. Full show notes are ecommerceminute.co, as well as past episodes. If you'd like to give us a shout out or get in touch or make a comment or send us some praise, go on our social media. We're at Sumo Heavy just about everywhere. Or you can send us an email at hello@sumoheavy. We'll get it, and we promise we'll read it right away and get back to you. E-commerce Minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. Hi-yo! That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe, or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the E-commerce Minute on your Amazon device. Just add E-commerce Minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.